I'd been involved in personal development since I was 21 years old, but had been moving at a snail's pace towards reaching my dreams. And for every financial gain I had, a loss would normally come right behind it. When The Secret came out in 2006, things started to come together. The biggest epiphany for me was letting go of how something was going to happen and just focusing on the goal itself. This is where things like my movies really make the difference, being able to just feel yourself in the moment with your goal and not worry about how you're going to get there. Success begins with the mind. Why do some people find success so easily while others have to work so hard for minimal results? It was clear to me that hard work was not the secret to life. I'd worked like a dog for far too long to believe in that. And it was also not intelligence or education either, or surprisingly even positive thinking that was the secret. So after doing much research and study on the masters of self-improvement, I came to the finding that success is largely determined based on your brain's programming, and for adults, the brain's programming is etched so deep it can nearly be impossible to reverse it if you don't have the right techniques and tools to work with. However, your brain's programming is actually not genetic and not permanent, which is great news. Most of what decides how successful we'll be happens during our formative years when our brain is operating in a completely different frequency. Now, if you were to look at our brains with an EEG machine, you would see most of us in beta brainwave state. Now, this is an alert thinking state that we use for most of our adult lives while we're awake. So if you meditate or get extremely relaxed, like after a long deep massage or a hot bath, you may get into an alpha state, which is a lot more receptive to absorbing the things around you. Now, young children are operating at a completely different frequency, which explains how they can learn to do things so quickly. So as infants, we're in more of a delta state, which allows all information to come into our brains without any filter. Now, we are in this state even in the womb, and because of this, our beliefs begin forming before we're even born. Now, as we grow from infant to toddler to young child, we move into a more stable theta state, which is the strongest learning state possible. I like to call this sponge mode because our brain's job at this point is to find out everything you can to keep this body alive. So it's more like a survival thing. Now, we are so new to this earth that we examine everything to determine how it affects our survival. We pick out people that we trust, usually the 5 closest people, and we learn from them. We listen to our parents, relatives, and siblings to determine what rules this strange new world goes by. Now, this is essential because in this deep learning state, we learn how to walk, that you shouldn't jump off high places, and that you shouldn't drink from bottles under the sink, no matter how bright and colourful and enticing they may look. Now, this equips us to survive and is the reason why almost every person who grows up can at least function in every major area of life. Unfortunately, because the gates to your mind are swung open so wide during this period, a lot of limiting beliefs can be passed through the doors. So if you hear your parents arguing about money, your brain encodes that as money causes problems or money is scarce. So if you hear your father saying about a neighbour, Joe may make a lot of money, but he works 80 hours a week, so it's not worth it, that gets embedded into your brain. And if a plump older sister says that her schoolmate is thin and pretty, but ugly on the inside, that can give you a belief about health and weight loss. So by the age of 6, your subconscious mind has collected all this data and decided, this is my blueprint for survival on this planet. It starts to slowly close the door on all of this new information, and by the time you're an adult, it's fully convinced that it has every habit and belief in place to keep you alive. Now, it doesn't need you to be rich, happy, or even physically healthy. And because of this, it's hard to convince the subconscious mind to change. So you are mostly in beta brainwave state when you're awake, which isn't necessarily bad, but it makes change enormously more difficult. So this is the conscious mind state of being alert, critical, and careful. Even though you're not consciously aware, your energy goes into reinforcing current beliefs, even if you know they're not helping you. So if you've ever wondered why your past work in personal development is not bringing you change, it's because your subconscious mind had all but locked the door to new ideas. The answer to this is to alter your brainwave state so you can once again have the ability to take in new positive beliefs. You'll learn how to do this on your own or by harnessing visualization and a science known as brainwave entrainment, which uses specifically engineered sounds to guide your mind into an optimal state for positive transformation and self-awareness. Now, when we discovered this information about brainwaves, we were so excited that we felt compelled to find out how something like this would work in conjunction with my movies. What we learned very quickly was that at this time, Morry Zelcovitch was the only certified brainwave entrainment engineer in the world. In fact, it seemed that everyone else had either been basing their work off his work or just putting beats together and hoping it would accomplish the same thing. And he's a brain specialist who worked with the Brazilian government to help them train their military police. Now, he's going to reveal some of the principles and techniques he shared with the Brazilian military to improve the mental power, the success, and the focus of their force. He was difficult to catch because he practically lives in his lab with all the scientific work that he does. However, we were able to connect with him and share with him the work that we'd done at My Movies. So since Morry had worked only in the audio field, he was fascinated with our My Movies and wanted to test using his subliminal and brainwave entrainment technology in conjunction with what we were doing. So after a number of weeks of using our programs, Morry was very happy with the results in his own life from My Movies, so he began providing subliminal audios as part of our monthly membership. And it was such an exciting time for us, working with the best brainwave entrainment engineer in the world and giving our members access to such a powerful tool. But then something happened which was both exciting and a little scary for us at the same time. Morry got the attention of the Brazilian government and specifically the military police. So it turns out that someone in Brazil had stolen his material and translated it into Portuguese to make his own half-baked program. Now, the Brazilian government got a hold of it and tested it with their military police. Now, after some probing from them, they realized that the Brazilian guy really didn't know what he was doing. So an officer was tasked with finding Morry and bringing him in for negotiation. Now, they had had such unbelievable results with the second-hand rip-off version that they were determined to find the real source of the technology. So Morry was then contacted to create programs to train Brazilian military police, and it was a staggering success. Morry had to really go deep into the structure of the mind and how it can be changed. He's going to give us an action plan of how we can change our brainwaves so we can install the best beliefs and habits for success. This is a plan that you can do on your own without any tools or programs.
With brainwave entrainment, you're able to access brainwave states that make learning and belief change 100 times easier. How brainwave entrainment works basically is that it takes advantage of a natural process in your brain called the frequency following response. Basically, your brain wants to tune into rhythms of what's around you. This is why listening to pop music with a good beat is a lot more enjoyable than, say, random jackhammer noise without any steady structure. Now, with brainwave entrainment, we take the same concept of following the frequency of what your brain naturally does, and we use it to sync it into states that make learning and personal change so much easier and more powerful. We use beats and frequencies that match your ideal brainwave state. Then we make the cells of your brain, otherwise known as neurons, fire at specific frequencies. When this happens, you release these different neurochemicals and endorphins. As these chemicals get distributed through your brain, mind, and body, you feel and act differently. Even if it's on its own, brainwave entrainment is wonderful and healthy for your brain. Now, when you combine it with other self-development tools, the results are outstanding. When we're speaking of alpha, beta, theta waves, we're actually speaking about a dominant brainwave frequency. In reality, different areas of your brain are always putting out multiple frequencies at the same time. But when we're talking about being an alpha, that means that my dominant frequency is alpha at that moment. Now, when you release different neurotransmitters, it activates different things. For instance, in theta, you release a hormone called LTP. This stands for long-term potentiation. And without that particular hormone in your brain, almost everything you learn goes literally in one ear and out the other. Children exist primarily in the theta wavelength. That's why they learn more easily than adults, because they're always producing this hormone. Things go into their head and are imprinted there and come back when they need it. Brainwave entrainment has been shown to increase neural pathways, literally creating more physical neural pathways in your brain. So to say it more simply, it's similar to a roadmap with express highways. As an example, if you have trouble figuring out things like directions or math, chances are that in your brain there's a long, complicated neural pathway for the right information to just mind. When you build a new neural pathway, it's like creating an express route that you can easily access anytime. This works with simple things like being happy, as well as useful skills like knowing the right thing to say at the right time when you're socializing, say with someone new. If you find you get tongue-tied a lot, this would be especially helpful for you. It's the same process anytime you see a kid running. They fall and the first thing they do is look up at mommy. If mommy's laughing, the kid gets up and laughs. If mommy's freaking out, oh my God, honey, what's wrong with you? The kid always starts crying. Now, the nice thing about using entrainment is that when we incorporate it with other modalities, say like affirmations, subliminal audios, you can give yourself that same experience that a 3 to 7-year-old might have. You can do that now as an adult at any age because the entrainment will actually bring your brain into that exact same state that a child has and allow you to change your programming. It's kind of like a hypnotic induction, but on a very, very deep level. Much deeper than any hypnosis, actually. It takes any skill you want to learn and makes it much more sharp and makes any type of personal change that much easier. Now, with subliminal messages, that's actually Greek meaning subliminal. It means below the level of consciousness. That's the whole idea. What happens is you're actually getting literal messages that are tuned up to a much higher speed and pitch, so they bypass your conscious awareness and go directly into your subconscious mind. You can get subliminals that say, you're wealthy, you're happy, you're attractive, you're this, you're that, whatever. You're actually getting a specific message sent to your subconscious mind. Now, lots of research shows that 90% of your actions are dictated by your subconscious mind. So you may think on a conscious level, but it's actually your subconscious mind that directs a lot of what you're going to be thinking. So that's where subliminal messages work. They work and act on the base root of where your thought processes are coming from.
I'm sure you've seen the studies that say we have around 70,000 thoughts a day, and 90 to 95% of those thoughts are subconscious thoughts happening from behind the scenes, so to speak. You know, the perfect example of this is when, let's say, you're driving a car. You're driving for about 10 to 15 minutes and you stop at a set of traffic lights and you realize you don't remember actually getting there. You know, you don't remember the actual drive because it's your subconscious mind that's doing the driving. Because, you know, when you learn to drive, it's a very conscious activity. You know, you've got to remember the steering wheel and the gear shift and the mirrors and the other cars and everything that's going on. But then through repetition, it just becomes part of your behavior. It becomes a subconscious part of your behavior, and that's why you can be driving for 15 minutes with absolutely no recollection of how you got to that set of traffic lights. You know, I was reading a book by Dr. Bruce Lipton, and he was explaining how the subconscious mind can process 40 million bits of data per second, but the conscious mind only processes 40 bits of data per second. So the subconscious mind is just so powerful, and to be able to influence that in such a positive way is really important.
Dr. Lipton also states that your thoughts affect your DNA. There's so much evidence that people who worry a lot get sick a lot. People that don't worry tend not to get sick as much. I was contacted by a captain in the military service. He actually found a version of my product that someone had hobbled together in Portuguese. He contacted me through an interpreter at their headquarters and made arrangements for me to meet at a university there for a research study. And research studies are really, really expensive. Now, what they did was they took a police cadet class. I think there were 21 students, and they ran them through a whole bunch of tests. What they found was that it was very clear to them that listening to my systems actually increased their concentrated attention, their resistance to fatigue, and productivity. They found this to be very, very impressive, actually, because when you consider how much it wears on you to be a military policeman, especially in a place like Brazil, it's incredibly stressful. They lose all kinds of days to illness and have all kinds of problems with social perception. And these officers were able to take care of their duties, go to class, sleep well, wake up in the morning, and treat civilians with respect, which is a big problem with a lot of them because they're young and they tend to have power trips. So they actually found that there were actually quite a few measures the brainwave entrainment could help with. The point here is that the Brazilian government is now using it to train their military police because they found it to be so effective. We're talking about future products and projects with them because they want to do a much larger study. You can consider meditation as kind of like a director. It basically takes all the good work that you're doing and it focuses your thought patterns. I can't really tell you how important it is for people to understand the dynamic here. Once you understand the dynamic of why you are the way you are, why you think the way you think, then you are empowered to change it and to use that knowledge to make yourself better. That's really what brainwave entrainment does. And It's what meditation, affirmations, and subliminal products do too. You can have an effective meditation with 30 minutes. Zen and Buddhist monks can take 10 to 15 hours a day. Now, if you use technology to help you along, obviously you don't need that much time. I can get you meditating like a Zen master in about 5 minutes after you've used certain recording of ours for maybe 2 or 3 times. What I suggest you do is to meditate every day, even if you only do it for a few minutes. It's really, really important to stay consistent, just like with regular, healthy eating and exercise. Now, if you don't do these things, systems start to break down. The same is true with the benefits you can get from meditation or from mind movies or any other self-enhancing technology. To try to get into theta waves on your own is obviously impractical for most people without hours to meditate every day. The monks who have time to meditate 10 to 15 hours a day tend not to really be the kind of people who want to travel around the world and drive hot cars. To do this on your own without any brainwave entrainment tools, you're going to be depending on 2 things. 1, repetition, and 2, your ability to get into the alpha state, which naturally becomes easier the more you do it. And I'll show you how you can do that right now. I'd like you to take a few deep breaths in. Now on the last one, just gently close your eyes. You'll start to notice a subtle change in your consciousness and the way you actually physically feel. You see, closing your eyes, when you do that, you do it before you go to sleep. And the reason you do that is because it slows down your brainwaves. It literally takes you and enters you into an alpha state. If you concentrate on your breathing, in and out, and maybe pay attention to different parts of your body and work your way up and down, this is called the scan technique, then you can find that you'll slowly get into a theta state that way as well. And the more you do it, the easier it will become. Now, it takes a little bit of work, some training, if you will, but you can do it if you really need to. Now, another way to do it on your own is to use well-produced brainwave entrainment technology regularly. What you'll find is you'll naturally go into these states as you need them. It's kind of like riding a bike. You get in the habit of doing it, and then you can access these states at will. The benefits are multiple. First of all, you're getting all of these healthy neurochemicals released in your system. Our bodies are supposed to get these things on a regular basis. Because brain states don't stay stable long enough, we don't tend to get enough of these neurons firing in this way, and thus enough of the neurotransmitter production. That's why people tend to be impatient, angry, they have short fuses, they get sad, they cry easily, they don't have patience. All of these things are the result of your neurochemical balance, or imbalance in many cases. So just by being exposed to those states, you're going to get benefits just from that. But on a secondary level, when you start incorporating other modalities like exercise, meditations, mind movies, subliminals, anything really, it augments that experience. Right now, it's an A-B relation. A happens, B is what your brain does. What the entrainment does is it actually takes you back to a natural state so that you judge what's going on with more clarity.
When you're in a completely natural state, your attitude is automatically more positive and you feel empowered to take more positive action and make better decisions. So one thing we're talking about is that there is a way to do this on your own without any brainwave entrainment technology. We've put together an action plan for you so that you can get the benefits of brainwave entrainment without having to use any recordings. We've put the action plan into 3 parts: startup, daily brain tune-up, and ongoing maintenance. For the startup, you'll only have to do this once to prepare for the rest of the program. The first thing you need to do is to create your vision. Write down everything you want your life to look like. It can be helpful to imagine what your ideal day is like. Where do you live? Who are you with? What are you doing? What kind of living situation do you have? And what do your surroundings look like? Be as detailed as possible. Like what kind of bank account balance do you have? Now, it's very important to crystallize your vision because you need to focus on it very closely while in the alpha state to get the same impact as you would in that precious theta wave state. The next thing to do is to take another piece of paper and ask yourself what type of person achieves these goals. Chances are they think quite differently than you do. So the first step is figuring out that type of person's thoughts and belief system. For example, do you think people who are financially successful think, I don't have enough money or I can't pay my bills? No, they think things like money is abundant I have more than enough money. So write down all the beliefs of the person that you want to be. Maybe it's, I love eating healthy food. Or maybe it's, I do excellent work every day and deserve my 6-figure salary. No matter what you're looking for, come up with at least 10 statements that you can use as affirmations, all in the present tense. Now that your preparation is done, you are ready for the daily brain tune-up. So your daily brain tune-up is number 1. When you wake up, immediately do some deep breathing and meditation for 5 minutes. Then take your affirmation sheet and read all of them aloud. It's best to do them with your hand over your heart so you can feel the vibration in your chest and looking in the mirror. Number 2, at some point of the day, find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Do the breathing exercise that we gave you earlier for 10 minutes, and this will put you in alpha state. Now you can do more than 10 minutes if you need more time, but don't go below that amount. From there, get a clear picture of your goal and visualize it for 30 minutes. See yourself as a person with all the possessions, relationship, and health. So number 3, then right before you go to bed at night, do the same thing as you did in the morning. Do some deep breathing meditation for 5 to 10 minutes, take your affirmation sheet and read them again in the mirror. So do this every single day for 90 days and you'll be astonished at the results. Your friends and family might resist you changing. This can happen for a number of reasons. They might be jealous, or they might simply not understand and want to protect you from embracing a new life of success. Remember, they too are working from past deep-seated programming, so in their minds, they think they're helping. This is why it's critical to regularly associate and meet with people who are on the same path as you. As far as I can tell, there's no city that you can move to that only has positive people in it. So your best plan is to find 3 to 5 people that you can regularly meet with to discuss your goals and life improvements. We call this a mastermind group, and it will cement your progress in. So meet with your mastermind group in person or over a teleconference once every 2 weeks or at least once a month. So now you see we have a startup, daily tune-up, and ongoing maintenance with your mastermind meetings, which you can do on your own or with a service. Now you may be thinking, that sounds like an awful lot of work for 90 days. And you may be ready to make positive changes now and not in 90 days' time. Because we have Morry as a partner, we were able to come up with a quicker and easier and 10 times more effective alternative that would take out a lot of the time commitments necessary to alter your belief structure. In fact, it really only takes about 7 minutes out of your day. Our do-it-yourself action plan is based on what you can do with your brain in alpha wave state. But with Morry's technology, you can go past alpha into theta wave state, which can let you accomplish in minutes what it would take you hours to do on your own.
But what we've done with Morry, create a program called My Movies Matrix. Now, what this product is, it's pre-made My Movies. They're already done, and they're done professionally. They're like stunning, beautiful My Movies. But we've combined them with Brainwave Entrainment and with subliminal audios.
This creates a one-stop solution with everything that you need to program yourself for success. This program takes everything we've ever done to an entirely new level. This was an enormous project for us, and we put a ton of scientific analysis and testing into it to make sure we had the perfect program. This one-of-its-kind package contains everything that you need to create huge positive change in your life. And the best part, it only takes a few minutes of your time, a couple of times a day to work.
This is how the program works. So what happens is you choose the area of life that you want to work on, and we highly recommend that you only choose one area. Now, if you want to set yourself for success, make sure that you just focus on one area. Next 30 days, focus on one area. So let's say it's going to be wealth. So in the morning, you watch the Brainwave Entrainment Matrix Mind movie on wealth. Now, when you watch this movie, it actually has a sound that's connected to the movie that's playing at the same time. This is the Brainwave Entrainment, and it's sort of like a helicopter or sort of like a buffering sound. And this you need to listen to with headphones. I have to make sure you got headphones on for this. Now, what happens is that it gets your brain into that suggestible state, so that whatever you're looking at while you're listening to this audio, it's getting programmed straight into your subconscious mind. Okay, so it's producing that small amount of LTP hormone and it's getting programmed straight into your subconscious mind. And that's the thing, because our brain, when it hears like a sound that it likes, it wants to be in coherence with this. And this is what happens when you're listening to that brain entrainment. So whatever you're looking at, all those affirmations about I am wealthy, I easily create wealth in my life, I'm in a loving and amazing relationship. These thoughts get programmed into your subconscious mind. mind and then become your beliefs. When people are using this program, the number one, within a couple of weeks, I have people email me going, you know what? I know I'm on my way, and for the first time in my life, I truly believe I can be wealthy, or I truly believe I can be the weight that I want. They know it in every fiber of their being because they've created these new thoughts that are their new beliefs. And that's how fast this product can work. So you listen to the Brainwave Entrainment My Movie in the morning, then you listen to the Subliminal one in the evening. Now, both of these movies are only 3 minutes long. Now, the Subliminal one, you must listen through speakers. Now, again, each of these My Movies have a song. It has music to it, so it's kind of really good to bop along with. But underneath the music is this high-pitched frequency that is laced with millions of affirmations that are the affirmations that are in the My Movie. You can't consciously hear them, but subconsciously you do. That's the trick about having it at that specific frequency. You can't consciously hear them, but they're playing in underneath the music. So when you're watching it, you just think you're watching a great My Movie with a great soundtrack, but underneath is where the secret sauce is. If you want to do it longer, please feel free to do that. Remember, what we're trying to do is get your brain into suggestible state. So the longer it's in suggestible state, the easier it is for those affirmations and those new beliefs to be programmed into your mind. Think of it like if you were to plant corn in a desert, you're not really getting a whole lot of yield there. But if you were to plant the corn into fertile ground, which is what we're trying to create here through the brain entrainment, then you're planting the seeds and making it easier for the seeds to then germinate and grow. And this is what we're trying to do here. So also what's part of this program as well is that we've included subliminal audios. They're hour-long subliminal audios. Again, within each of those, so we've got wealth, we've got health, we've got relationships, and we've got your perfect partner. So relationships are more like family relationships, co-workers, friends, that kind of thing. And then you've got your perfect partner. So when you're choosing one of those, you play the subliminal audio during the day. You can just have it on repeat. Now, these are actually sent to nature sounds. So again, you'll hear either waves crashing or you hear birds chirping or whatever the nature sound is. But again, high-pitched underneath that sound are millions of affirmations that you can't consciously hear, but they're just getting programmed straight into the subconscious mind. So you don't consciously hear the affirmations that are a much higher frequency. So consciously you can't hear them, but subconsciously you can. These audios are set to nature sounds, and you want to play them fairly lightly. They don't need to be really loud. They just need to be light background music or light background sound. So after a while, consciously you don't even hear it, but subconsciously everything's getting programmed deep into that fertile ground that we've created through the brain entrainment. What we're doing is creating a tool to make it effortless, to be able to retrain your brain to be in alignment with this new future that you want to create. The part of the program where you need to give 100% attention is 6 minutes a day. So talking 3 minutes in the morning and 3 minutes in the afternoon, which is you watch your Brainwave Entrainment Matrix My Movie in the morning with headphones. You watch your Subliminal Brain Matrix My Movie in the evening through speakers. Then as an added boost, then what you can do is play the subliminal audios while you're working. So while you're pottering around the house, when you're on your computer, whatever it is that you're doing, you can have this playing in the background. And then all of those means of affirmations are being programmed effortlessly into your subconscious mind. One of the bonuses that I've added is actually the sleep meditation. Because here's what's happening. We're starting to change the frequency of our brain. And the thing is, you can watch it 3 minutes in the morning, 3 minutes at night. You can watch it more if you like. Obviously, the longer, that you do this, the more LTP is going to be released in the brain, the more you'll be programming these affirmations into your mind. So it's completely up to you. But what happens is because we're making these changes, sometimes we have found that some people are finding it difficult to sleep. So we created meditations to help you sleep like a baby. And these meditations are 30 minutes long. One has, someone speaking and leading you through the meditation, and the other one is just, music and sounds. So you can choose which one you want, but that will help you get into a very deep, restful sleep. Now, if you're someone who suffers from insomnia normally, then these sleep meditations are going to be a godsend for you. We get so much positive feedback from these meditations, and you just play them as you're going to bed. So again, it's effortless. You play them. Again, you can play them through speakers as you're going to sleep, and it'll turn off after the 30 minutes and really get you into a nice deep sleep.
Now, it's important to know that every part of the My Movies Matrix system, apart from the sleep meditation audio, is divided into 4 sets, each one focusing on one key area of life. So number 1, the Manifesting Wealth and Achievement Matrix My Movie set empowers you with the beliefs, behaviors, and emotions of the world's wealthiest and most successful people and erases the ones sabotaging your earnings and achievements. Number 2 is the Enhancing and Deepening Relationships My Movies Matrix set, which is for less misunderstandings and arguments and more empathy and positivity with your spouse, your co-workers, your kids, and your family members. Number 3 is the weight loss and optimal health matrix mind movie set that shakes off the unhealthy habits and develops autopilot habits for eating right, exercising, and maintaining a healthy lifestyle, even if nothing worked for you in the past. And number 4 is the finding or nurturing of the perfect partner matrix mind movie set, which allows you to grow into the person your perfect partner wants you to be with, or returns the excitement, fulfillment, and joy to your existing relationship. And remember, while it might sound like a lot on paper, all you're really doing is watching a couple of relaxing videos for 3 minutes in the morning and 3 minutes in the evening. That's just 6 minutes of your day, the same time it takes you to check Facebook or read a short article. Morry was the perfect person to work with on creating this, because I know so many of us are crazy busy and we'd all appreciate a tool that's quick and easy and even fun. We're going to throw in a full year subscription to our Subliminal Success Accelerator package because it complements the My Movies Matrix so well. The Subliminal Success Accelerator is a premium membership that gives you access to a discussion forum where you can ask me and the rest of the My Movies community questions, a monthly subliminal audio created by Morry himself with a different theme each month to add your subliminal audio library, a monthly live coaching call, and the most exciting part, My Movies Subliminal. So My Movies Subliminal allows you to continuously play your Matrix My Movies in the background of your computer while you work, surf the web, or do anything else online. You can change the opacity so it plays faintly in the background of your screen, so there's not a minute that goes by that you're not absorbing the powerful messages in your Matrix My Movie. This means that you're absorbing both visual and audio subliminals without any effort day in and day out.
And the other bonus that I wanted to add is our My Mastery World Summit. It's the online recordings of this incredible live event that we did in San Diego. Now, at this event, every man and his dog wanted to be on this stage. We had Bob Proctor, John Assarath, T. Harv Eker. We had Janet Atwood and Bob Doyle. We had a whole bunch of people. It was such an amazing event. And we've got over 14 hours of incredible presentations from all of those gurus in our industry.
Look, I'm not even asking you to decide now. I'm asking you to try My Movies Matrix over the next few months, knowing you've got an entire year to observe all the incredible positive changes it triggers in your life before deciding if they're worth your time and investment.
Even if you just can't find the time to get started on the system, just email us at support@mindmovies.com and we'll give you a quick and full refund, no questions asked. So there really is absolutely no reason not to try our My Movies Matrix for yourself. The science is solid, the results are proven, and the offer is 100% risk-free. You'll need a computer, a tablet, or a smartphone to play your Matrix My Movies on. Then you'll need headphones for your Matrix My Movies and speakers for your Subliminal Mind Movies. And that's it. So with this program, all you have to do is invest just a few minutes in the morning watching your chosen Brain Entrainment My Movie, then a few minutes in the night watching your Subliminal My Movie on the same topic. Just doing this and nothing else, you will see an amazing change. Then, if you like, throughout the day, you can enjoy listening to the beautiful subliminal audios lightly in the background as you go about your work or daily tasks, and in the night, enjoy the sleep meditation to ensure a deep, restful night's sleep. I think that's what I love most about this program, is all the hard work is done for you. You just have to spend a few minutes a day and then watch the transformations that happen in your life. Your thought patterns will change so naturally and so smoothly that you may not notice it as much during the beginning until someone points it out to you. The other nice thing about this package is you get the benefits of all of these elements multiplied. The affirmations, subliminal message, and brainwave entrainment all become much greater together than the sum of their parts. Now, I know it's the combination of all of them that makes them so powerful. It's just amazing. This program will help you understand on a core level what you really want, and being happy for no reason is going to become effortless. So basically, reaching any goal, whether it be your relationships, your health, your wealth, or even your career, will happen faster than ever before, and you will automatically be happier, calmer, and stress-free.
For this and every product that I work on, though, I always use myself as a guinea pig. I refuse to send out anything for the hell of it. I need to test it and make sure that I see benefits before I release anything. Now, I put on the Perfect Partner Brainwave Entrainment Mind Movie in the morning. I actually just made the screen smaller and stuck it in the corner of my screen as I was working. Then I listened to the audio as I sat out on my balcony while eating lunch. Then after my afternoon coffee break, I popped on the Perfect Partner Subliminal Mind Movie. I have to tell you something. I felt so happy and I wasn't tired at all. Even after 8 hours of sitting at my computer, the time just flew. I got up afterwards, and when my girlfriend came home, the first thing I felt was this rush of warmth. I had to go right up to her. I gave her a big hug, big kiss, and couldn't stop telling her how much I loved her. It was absolutely amazing how quickly this worked and how fantastic I felt. Basically what happens is really quite simple. You release different neurotransmitters while you're listening and watching. These neurotransmitters create the perfect canvas, if you will, to paint the messages that the mind movies and subliminals are giving you. Now, as a result, you end up with this beautiful little portrait in your mind, permanently etched there. And that's there for you whenever you need it. The great thing is that you don't even really have to pay attention to what's happening on the screen. You don't have to concentrate at all. Just take it in and enjoy as if you were on a tour, and let it enter your subconscious mind. Again, the brain entrainment will massively boost the effects of the mind movies and the subliminals. You will see that something will happen. Say that you're driving home and someone cut you off, and instead of getting angry and flipping them off, you'll smile. You go, wasn't it good that I avoided an accident? Another thing is that this program works on the understanding that you're a unique individual. And in your psyche somewhere are solutions to any issues you may have personally, financially, or any other way for that matter. As a result, by using this system, you will naturally be guided to your own unique solution. The time is really very, very small. You can literally do it in 3-minute segments. The sleep meditation is the longest piece, and with that, all you do is press play, close your eyes, and go to sleep. It doesn't even matter if you fall asleep. You can listen without headphones, as a matter of fact, because a lot of people roll over and headphones may be uncomfortable or wake them up. So listening quietly over a speaker is just fine. Everything else about the system is a little over 3 minutes. That's all you need. Another great thing is that you can even watch the Matrix Mind movies on your phone, as the movies can all be downloaded to iPhones, Androids, and any other type of smartphone.
I remember the first time Morry worked his brainwave entrainment and technology into a mind movie and played it for me. My first reaction was actually, is that it? I mean, the thing about Mind Movies Matrix is it goes deep into your subconscious, but on a conscious level, it takes no effort whatsoever, except for just that you have to concentrate on it for just a few minutes. So is it hard? Absolutely not. So let me just refresh you real quick on exactly how to use it. So the first thing you want to do is choose the area of life that you want to work on. Now remember, the 4 areas are attracting wealth and achievement, enhancing and deepening relationships, weight loss and optimal health, and finding or nurturing the perfect partner. Then you just use the Mind Movies Matrix set that corresponds to that area of life. Now you've got your 3-minute Matrix Mind Movie for the morning. Now these are laced with Morry's Brainwave Entrainment technology, and it's really quite amazing how they absorb the positive messages into your subconscious mind, and how this short 3-minute experience can keep you in peak condition all day. Then in the evening, you turn up your speakers and you listen to your 3-minute subliminal mind movie that embeds millions of positive subliminal commands to keep your subconscious in peak condition. Plus, you've got subliminal audio so you can use as a booster for any time throughout the day, and a sleep meditation audio to lock in your subconscious workout even while you're asleep. Now, the entire system is super simple, super efficient, and yet surprisingly transformational. Anyone can use it, whether you're 8 or 80. When we're talking about subconscious reprogramming, it always boils down to upgrades and in the quality of your thoughts, your emotions, your habits, and amazingly, even the people and circumstances that you attract into your life. So let me give you an example. So if you decide to focus on the wealth portion of the system, then you can expect to find yourself developing an instinct for abundance and achievement. You'll find your old habits and emotions that cause you to lose money will start melting away, like fear or procrastination or hesitation to make investments. Now you'll also find yourself more productive and focused at work, and even getting along better with your clients, your co-workers, and your boss. Plus you'll also notice many more abundant opportunities, peoples, and coincidences that start gravitating into your life. And what this really means is that the universe itself starts aligning with the vibrations of your upgraded subconscious thoughts. It's not unusual for my students to report getting a bonus or a raise out of nowhere, or a surprise check in the mail, or even a chance encounter with someone who ends up offering them a lucrative new job or a dream career. Each person's subconscious and neurological development is different. But in general, it should take anywhere from a few weeks to a couple of months to start seeing meaningful changes in your thinking patterns and your habits and emotions. But remember though, this doesn't mean that changes aren't taking place even way before you start noticing. Think of it like it's a seed that's been planted. You only see it once it sprouts, but that doesn't mean that changes aren't happening beneath the surface. You're not really investing in a set of audios and videos. You're not really investing in another personal growth home training program. And you're not even investing in the technology behind those audios, which we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of our lives to develop. What you're investing in are the results that My Movies Matrix will create for you. You're investing in the subconscious upgrade, which will in turn open up all sorts of wins and breakthroughs and opportunities and outcomes in every area of your life that matters to you. To earn more money and perform better in your career for the rest of your life. To get healthier and lose weight. To find or nurture your soulmate. Or to connect better with the people who matter. All these outcomes are priceless. And the beauty of it is, once you start optimizing your subconscious, you'll find yourself getting less and less busy. Why? Because the habits, autopilot actions, and stray thoughts that once sucked up so much of your time start to disappear, and you become a far more efficient and productive person. Now, I personally have a habit of taking a break every 90 minutes when I'm working, and there have been several scientific studies to prove that doing this actually makes you more focused and motivated, and this is true for me. Now, watching a Matrix Mind movie on one of those breaks magnifies my efficiency and makes me even more motivated to finish my tasks. So I get much more done these days.
Here's the thing. When you believe that this is possible for you and you believe that it will happen, it completely changes the frequency at which you are resonating. And it makes it easier for you to be able to manifest and create this new reality in your life. It's all about getting that belief and that foundation in. So when you're in this more positive vibration and you have this strong belief that it is going to happen, if you believe that you can create this future, if you believe that you can have the health and the body that you want, then you will have it. Belief is most of the thing. See, the thing is, we've lived our whole lives believing the truths we picked up as children. So what we're trying to do is replace those. Remember, we're getting rid of them and replacing them with these new beliefs. Our whole life has been controlled by these past beliefs. Now, if we can believe something that's not true from our childhood, we can easily choose to believe something more positive in our future and then completely create a whole new life for ourselves. It's one of our most effective programs, I have to say, because it's done for you. It's effortless. The most effort you need to do is plonk yourself down in front of the computer and press play.